You sure have seen a lot of the colony, huh, Dr. Fenhill?
Ellie. And sure.
Find it thrilling? Being...
Hello again, dear. Such a pity, isn't it? But I suppose it's an important reminder that one can have to... Hello again. And what a helpful young man you are. Who's your luck? Now, there's no keeping secrets from... Also, I really do have to enter someone's name for the alarm. Well, I suppose I could use the money. Very well.
Ah, the charmer. Oh, the...
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See? I'm glad someone... Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, Oh, no, there it is.
That was fast. I gotta see.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful and... Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
I hope you like being part of our crew, Nyoka.
Well. Enjoy. If you keep...
Ain't a person on this planet who can keep up with me. Wait, we are...
Now what can I...
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's... Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been... First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatologist... Braxton. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals. That he's got his load on, and That's... Wow. Oh, sure. Still, it's good to know what happened. Something else on your mind? Caleb Herrick runs the auto... He and his whole crew You mind If you can find a way to get him back to work? Unless you're here to tell me... I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an hard workers, they turn dials and flip switch. Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back. Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be his... For running me ragged while he takes an extended... Fine. Sublight boss out.
need to talk to you, Captain. Hey, figure while we're out here in the wilderness anyhow, preferably before we get to Hiram. You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. But this... nothing I can't... I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. I haven't seen 2 of them in years. And the rest I know to be... First, we go to Hayes. I buried him a ways. I'll show you where he rests. Then we find my 2 lost trackers and bring them home. A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's. If we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out.
New face, huh? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here. Why don't you grab a chair? Sit a spell. Me and my friends have taken... Well, as long as we don't. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as... Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? Sure thing. What do I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite person, but she ain't been cruel. Devil it all. Now you got me feeling sorry for her. Fine. I guess we'll go back to... Tell Velma not to worry. We'll...
I'd give you a...
We spat in...
You notice my mood?
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Will you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition? Anyway, what do you folks need? You knocked any sense? Well, that's... Thanks for your help. You've gotten me out of a tight spot here. Something else?
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all... So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like... I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I... Poor Isaac. I was wondering why. I'd really like to help. Isaac... I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend... They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done.
the fuck are you?
Hey, what are you doing here? Berta already pissed by those. Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. And not that it's any.
Stop on us.
That's the last of us.
Thank you again for retrieving the bolt. It's every bit as complex. Anyway? But that's terrible. What happened? But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stella... Live and learn, I suppose. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please...
Good old Stellar Bay. Only place on the planet that don't stink of sulfur. On account of it stinking like fish instead. Here we go! Kill confirmed!
Don't mess with us.
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the iconoclast. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems. Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep. Oh, sure. Graham's our founder. He taught us how to cut our own path in the wilderness. And I guess some folk have started following Zora's orders. You can think of those two as our leaders, but they're more like examples. We all ought to be more like them. Why, he's our founder. Graham taught us about philosophism. Through him, we came to the eternal... I'm glad you're asking, by the way. She's been with us since the beginning. I think she was our sawbones back then. She goes and finds people in the wilderness and gets them to come here. And she keeps us from being... She's liable to take your head off if you screw up, but then Graham's place is in the large building straight back. Zora's sometimes there talking with him, but usually she's in the triage clinic next door. Oh, Graham settled here a long time ago. Shoot, I wish I had a pen. I wasn't around back then, but they say a lot of the old MSI corporate folks died here. He calls it a spiritual... The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. Last I saw him, he was headed...
A manta queen.
Yeah, we felled it, mind.
A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, the truth that I have come to learn and out here, we survive by the sheer strength of our spirit. We have no need for the endless rules and red...
We do seem to burn through endless ammunition and medical tape.
Yes, well, such is life. Our descendants will enjoy safety and luxury, but our generation is the foundation on... Now. A great many...
We could always use a hand rounding up supply.
Or... Now here's an idea. There's an old print... Oh yes, many facilities lie abandoned in the wilderness. I believe the press could be operational. Will you aid us in our... Wonderful. Speaking of which...
You bought rollers? You haven't even cleared the wraps out yet. What are you doing wasting bit? Forget it. Huxley's still recovering.
It seems we're out a runner. If you intend to help our cause, I'll ask you to meet our MSI... One of our sympathizers. A woman named Carlotta periodically buys goods on our behalf from Stellar Bay's store. Stellar Bay has caught on, but they remain friendly, though the goods now come at a considerable mark. She meets us in the ruins of Bayside Terrace. From our compound, follow the road north.
So you're her mysterious savior.
That girl and her songs, so eager to... Wonderful. We can use them to copy and modify rate...
Unbelievable. I hope I don't have to tell you this, but if there is extra money, would you mind buying... Graham, if you need me, I'll... Gonna need to buy myself an entire rhizoid plant after all this.
Never seen you before. Take my advice. Move on. I've been halfway around T1. Come on, nothing on this moon for nobody. It's pretty simple, kid. I sit at the bar, I drink.
Whoever said that must have been lying. Or maybe there was look, you want to buy the drinks? A great many things. I'll tell you what, I used to run with a squad of mercenaries here. Stands to reason. Mostly we protected folk from the beasts here. If it spat, scratched, or stung, we'd kill it for you. We split ways around the time this twice. Thing is, I got myself some fond memories. Thereabouts. I'll be glad for it, but I ain't stupid. This planet tends to get people killed. Getting on in years, kid. Legs ain't working like they used to. Sulfur burns a little too long in the lungs. Appreciate it, kid. I'm marking outposts on your map.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades, no matter what my mama wishes. According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life she cramped. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can file. I stuck around way too long, ruled by her fears. What in the nebula is wrong with you? She's an old woman. You're real sick. Sure, she drives me crazy, but she doesn't deserve anyone getting violent.
This is new. Way the edges are burnt. I guess people did this.
Here we go. Don't mess with us.
Fallbrook's on the other side of the bridge there if you need a drink. We're only halfway to the mountain, so might consider stopping in.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your... No reservation? No problem. Day trippers are always welcome in our saloon. Straight back and check in with Ms. Malin. I am here to anticipate...
Time for a round of whist. Or a round of whiskey. Or both.
Drinking, gambling, and organized crime. Everything you need to keep civilization.
Take a gander at that mug.
He means gullible, Captain.
Watch yourself, Captain. This guy's got eyes like a sprat set on steel.
Oh, now, come on. You don't seem like the usual pigeons we pluck. No offense, of course, if you are a Byzantium goldblood. Say, I'd like to do you a favor. It's no flattery. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around. In return, was that sarcasm? I'm going. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Can you not... Physically, you mean? In my mind, I have traveled galaxies. I'm not entirely decided. If I'm being honest, I think I'd...
Seen Arthur today?
Nah, last time I saw him. Stars, I can't remember. Days.
You don't think he got crushed during the bridge fights?
His team running that drop?
Hungry? No. My dry goods, no rubbernecking.
Welcome to the offices of... I'm obligated to inform you that our... So, what...
Always imagined Fallbrook would be... cleaner? Fancier?
If feeling like the civilized type, the waterfall's a good spot to wash your clothes.
Here we go.
We're done here.
Nice shot, Captain. Nice one.
That's the last of them. Look northwest. That ain't it, but marauders sometimes camp inside the buildings there. Steer clear unless you fancy getting shot. Westbound still. I'll let you know when we can start ascending. I call this Rotting River, on account of all the dead things I've thrown in it over the years. You'll take into the Devil's Peak Caverns if you follow the bridge. That's one option. Others the slope up. If you're up for some fun, let's chat.
Everyone away they go.
Ah, this factory offers the loveliest aromas. Like if you cook borscht over a sulfur pit. This'll be fun. Nice one! Nothing like a good tussle.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Uh-huh. Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my only nugget of paradise in this entire...
I'll bet she's a hoot at part.
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to You know, I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show... But first, I'll need to know what Well? Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind... Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery. And if it's one that don't mind. But how am I to know I do admire blunt honesty. There's a borscht factory. That aside, it's a business ripe Stars, I hope. Clive Lundberg. He's making the... And you're the soon-to-be handsomely... Kill him. Run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production. If you got brass knockers, you can shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to... Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs. Doctor a few financial records. It'll be more than good when you've finished. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, may luck be with you.
Catherine's great, ain't she? She'll pull you out of the sulfur, so long as you don't mind being in her debt.
I'd have a drink with...
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway? Just remember, I still got bullets, in case you get any funny ideas. What are you doing out here anyway? That feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I gnawed through my last sprat work. Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out. Catherine had us making drops for some big-shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret. The Marauders knew we were coming. Rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too. Last I saw, they were heading back up the hill. You'll see it on the right when you... If you got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine... Me? I'm headed back to...
Dirty.
Please, you don't have to do this. Just let us down from here. Look, I didn't know what I said about your outfit.
Oh, this is that again. Nail the cat. That does it. Time for a drink?
you should know you're getting... What can I do? Excellent timing on your part. I worked my finger.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
So I am. I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board. Slowly, peacefully, and with me.
I don't know what you think you're gonna accomplish. I'd just as soon reorganize it into itty-bitty pieces with a really big gun.
You can't build anything that way. What's the...
It's fun.
Nonsense! There's nothing more invigorating than a well-developed 10-year... But truly, I am getting ahead of myself. First, I need to submit the Bolt 50... I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that, we'll sit back...
That means no more broadcasts from us.
Nice work! Food poisoning is one of the leading causes of death in Halcyon. Not surprising when you see these places from the inside. There are...
Unexpected.
These are my private quarters, friend. Certain things require a mess to do well. See, I was just killing some time. I do own a factory known for specializing in the canning. Did you fancy me a cannibal? So, what can I do for you? My full attention is at your disposal.
I'm not saying you shouldn't vex this guy, but if you do...
While I approve of your associate's cautious nature, let us move forward with the present. By sublight, you mean... Listen, friend. The Borst King of Monarch does not negotiate with You desire that I should lower myself to Catherine's level of crassness and filth? The king built this golden monopoly brick by brick from the rub. You think to blackmail me? Try it. For true? You figure she will appreciate my skills? However, I remain unconvinced. Ah, but Catherine would admire a man of my inclinations and skill. The king is interested. John Hancock me on the dotted line, friend. I will even give her a cut. Do not push me. I tell Catherine she is permitted to dump the bodies each and every Tuesday. You ain't a very loyal employee, are you? Still, I reckon it's better that sow than me be led. All right. Easier for who? Perfection!
Great work.
The caves back east are safest. We can head up this path if you want to shoot your way through a few nightmares on your way up.
You seen Arthur today?
Now there's a woman who knows what she wants.
Please say the Oda Corp. Huh. Not much boast to that declaration. Am I to take that to mean you hired more than we're successful? Still, this ought to compensate. I'll presume you mean Arthur, the one you sent scurrying back like a sprat with his tail cut off. Reckon I'm happy he's alive. I'd be happier if the marauders who botched my drop were dead. I take it you don't have a reservation. No matter, I keep a suite of VIP rooms for visitors. The VIP rooms charge by the night. But for you, I'll make it a one-time fee. Marvelous. Do take care of the place. Maid service won't clean after a murder.